Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining our session, A New Era for Owner Relations. Before we kick this off, on behalf of Enverus, we just want to tell you that we hope that you are safe and healthy and well out there. We're excited to have you today. So with that, a couple of housekeeping things before we get started. We will have time for questions at the end after the main presentation, and you can actually type in your questions on the GoToWebinar console. So we will be able to take those at the end of the session. If you see something during the presentation you have a question on, just go ahead and type it in there. And we also will be sending out a replay recording via email to all attendees on this session. So keep an eye out for that in your inbox. And with that, I'm going to introduce our speaker. We've got Steve Masters. He's our VP Product and Operations for the Business Relations Business Unit here at Enverus. He's an experienced Vice President of Product Management with a demonstrated history of working in the information technology and services industry. He is skilled in enterprise software, agile methodologies, go-to-market strategy, product strategy, engineering, and strategic partnerships. So he's very good at a lot of things, right, Steve? And Steve actually earned an MBA. He earned an MBA focused in strategy from the University of Southern California. So that, Steve, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Hey, thanks, Susie. I appreciate that. And hopefully, maybe by the end of this, we'll agree I'm hopefully good at presenting here some new information. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Really excited to have the opportunity to speak with you all and have the opportunity to actually kind of get outside virtually the four walls that I'm living in, as are you, I'm sure. So hopefully everybody's doing well. And even though times are tough between a couple different kind of black swan events here, hopefully, again, everybody's healthy and safe. So really excited, as I mentioned, to kind of talk through the new era, right, and of where we kind of find ourselves with the owner relations solutions through Enverus. And with that, I wanted to kind of start with a little bit of history, right, just to kind of set the stage in terms of how it is we got to where we are. And if I can get this to move forward, we'll get going. All right. So hopefully all can see the screens that we have. And what I wanted to, again, kind of set the stage is just how we kind of got to where we are, some of the events that have happened over the last really 5 years or so. Really kind of starting in 2016, as you kind of see on the left side of the screen. If you kind of put your way back hat on all the way back to 2016, there were at that time 3 core platforms in the industry, right? So we had the OilDex Owner Relations Connect ORC platform, the PDS ORMS solution, and then EnergyLink was kind of the third option in the market, doing some really great things. In 2017, OilDex purchased the PDS solution and integrated those ORC customers into the ORMS platform. So the industry was really left with 2 options at that point, 2 primary options on the market for owner relations. Moving into 2018, as you've probably seen and read with between Drilling Info and now Enverus, acquisition spree kind of started. So in 2018, Drilling Info acquired OilDex. So that now, again, left 2 in the industry, but just different ownership between the Drilling Info solutions, ORC and ORMS, and then the EnergyLink solution in the market. Lo and behold, in 2019, last summer, we completed the acquisition. We did really 2 things: completed the acquisition of EnergyLink, and then also went through a rebrand from a name standpoint from Drilling Info to Enverus. So now, just to kind of again set the stage, from the industry standpoint, we've gone from 3 separate solutions, distinct, each with their own, kind of pros and cons with that, and really have now settled on the acquisition, bringing all 3 of those platforms in-house under the Enverus brand. And really what that's left us with is, as we've kind of been going through since last summer and talking with many of our clients, many of you hopefully on this call, we're really kind of going through a rationalization process, right, in terms of what is the next step, how do we move the industry forward, how do we consolidate the experience here. And what we've decided to do, and what we're really excited to announce here today formally, is the integration and the unification of all of our owner relations sites. So basically what we're looking to do here is announce today the formal announcement of the unified owner relations strategy. And really what that consists of is consolidating those 3 largest networks that the industry had over publicly available into a single solution that now we're bringing much more intelligence to that network. So now we have, going from 3 different solutions, moving into a single solution that really is unrivaled in the market. And when I say that, that's everything from a feature function standpoint, but also just from a breadth and depth and the scale that the platform has in terms of the number of clients it reaches, and the number of owners that utilize the platform. There really is nothing like it in the industry. And what that allows us to do is really move forward in serving both owners and partners now through a common user experience, delivering best-in-class information. So if you kind of take a look at the screen on the left here, the little image here, really what we're looking to do is kind of bring all the pieces of our owner relations business, everything from the data itself coming in from a data exchange standpoint, the owner relations hosting websites, the call center services, print mail services, all of those components now are coming together under a single consolidated platform that is the EnergyLink platform. So, from 3 distinct solutions competing it out in the market, really kind of working to best each other, we're taking the best of all the capabilities between those 3, and now again unifying under a single platform, which is the EnergyLink platform on a go-forward basis. We're going to get through that a little bit more on that here in a moment. But the third bullet that I also want to talk to, and you'll hear more about this a little bit later this summer, is there's a number of benefits here that we're going to talk through today, specifically with the owner relations sites themselves and the statement data, et cetera. But what this also allows us to do is begin to broaden the offering that we have to get beyond just statement data, but begin to provide much more actionable information to owners. And the benefit there is owner education on the assets that they have, an understanding of what's going on within the market. One of the great things working with Enverus is we have a tremendous amount of data, really kind of touching all parts of the industry, great knowledge in terms of what's going on, both now as well as what can be expected in the coming months and if not years. We're looking to take a lot of that information and package it up to, again, help owners understand, get context around what is going on, how to understand their statements, as an example, and many other new kind of capabilities that we're going to be bringing to market. The key benefit there, and again, we'll hear more about this a little bit later this summer, but the key benefit to you all would hopefully be, again, happier owners, more educated owners, and quite frankly, less calls coming in, right? Less owners actually picking up the phone, writing you an email, asking information. So looking to kind of meet that need in the market. But today, what we're talking about, again, is the owner relations strategy of unifying the 3 platforms together. And what that means to all of us is a really controlled migration, right? So one thing I really want to stress here on this discussion this afternoon is that this is a coordinated event, right? So there's not a big bang coming up. We're not going to come to you with a date and say, hey, you all have 60 days to, kind of make this transition. Rather, this is going to be a coordinated project with each of you individually. And we'll go through a little more detail here as the presentation unfolds. But suffice it to say, you all have a stake in this. We definitely want to make sure that there's minimal disruption, both for you as well as the owners. So as we go through this, the migration itself, we've given quite a bit of thought, broken down a lot of the different uses of how you all are using our solutions, how your owners are interacting with us, and kind of came up with a multi-pronged approach where we'll begin to pick off and move with you from the legacy platforms, the ORCIORMS systems, as well over to the EnergyLink platform on a go-forward basis. So a lot of planning has gone into this. Enverus will work with you, again, hand in hand from a project management standpoint and communication. So we're here to assist you. Again, this isn't going to be a big bang. You won't be taken by surprise. Some of the benefits of this, some of the outcomes, right, as we start to move over to EnergyLink, is the fact that the EnergyLink standard product really is the industry standard within our market, right? Many of our owners, your owners, I should say, already have familiarity with the platform, and many of them use it today for their JIB statements. Many of them are accessing revenue statements off the platform as well. So there's a great deal of familiarity in the market, a lot of benefits to the user interface and the presentation of the data within the platform. The other key aspect here that I want to really stress is the high level of satisfaction, both, again, from an owner standpoint, as well as an operator when they're dealing with EnergyLink. EnergyLink has really kind of made its name, both in terms of innovation, but also customer service and satisfaction being primary goals. That too is our goal as Enverus. So we want to make sure that we're able to be responsive to your needs, responsive to your owners, and be able to quickly get product and get solution into the market. So we're very excited about this opportunity to kind of bring the pieces together and then be able to, again, set that industry standard bar perhaps a little bit higher as we add new functionality in the coming months. One of the other real key benefits here also is a common user experience. I mentioned before that many owners already are getting data from an EnergyLink platform, again, JIB data, revenue data, today in conjunction perhaps with your operator hosted site. So what this solution will bring, once we kind of bring all the pieces together, is a very standard common user experience. And that has a number of benefits to it. Chief among them, just from an owner standpoint, they have a single location to go to, a single login to get access to all of their data. So all of the different operators they work with have a common look and feel, common access for them. So it's very easy for the owners to get in, get the data they need, and then kind of move along from there. The other key piece here is that as you come in, if you're not familiar with EnergyLink, but as you come in with EnergyLink, you log in, you create your account. I, as an owner, now have access to all of my statements, right? So I don't have to go to, say, 4 or 5, 6 or more different websites each month to pull down my statement data. I can now go to a common solution, log in once, as I mentioned, get access to all of my statement information, and be able to get on my way. So very much a streamlined experience from an owner standpoint, from your standpoint as well. Very easy for you to get in and navigate that from an operator side of the ledger as well. Some of the other benefits that perhaps I'm most excited about, common user experience is fantastic, really excited there, cut down on support calls. But the key here is also with the scalable architecture. So EnergyLink also has the benefit of having a modern multi-tenant architecture that really allows us to move quickly in terms of enhancements to the market. And what that means, the multi-tenant architecture, right? That's kind of a $6 word here. The net of it, if you kind of look at the image on the right, is it's kind of a build once, deploy to everybody immediately. So if you're, as all of you are, familiar with the ORMS solutions and ORC, typically those were more or less one-off implementations, so that when we rolled out a new piece of functionality, we had to really kind of touch each and every operator individually. With EnergyLink, one of the nice benefits here is, say we deploy, in this case, we just deployed an ACH module that we're going to talk about. We're able to push that once and immediately it's available to everybody, right? So as new enhancements come online, new capabilities are introduced, those will be immediately available to you all. And you'll have the benefit, your owners will have the benefit of a continually evolving platform, rather than kind of a platform that's built once, kind of put on the shelf, and then when changes are needed, we have to do that on a one-off basis. So very, very key feature there, allows us again to kind of move quickly and start to execute on a number of plans that we've had in a much more efficient manner. The last piece here on the benefit screen here is reduce print and mail. So many of you use Enverus today for your print and mail, handling both your revenue checks, your statements, your JIB statement prints. We do all of that in-house. Today, with the ORCIORMS platform, you do have some ability to kind of throttle who gets it, but that ability to interact with and decide which owners will receive paper statements, as an example, is greatly enhanced through the EnergyLink platform. So one of the key pieces here, again, and you'll be hearing a lot more about this as we go, but there's the notion of a registered user and a non-registered user within the EnergyLink platform. We have the ability for anybody who registers, basically opting in to say, hey, I'm going to come to the website each month. I'm going to download my PDF myself. You can choose to take them off the roll from a print mail standpoint, right? So that effectively reduces your cost as you go forward. The more owners that register and come into the platform, the less print volume you maybe have in your work stream. So one of the key benefits there, again, is you have more control on who receives a piece of mail, and again, be able to control your costs by getting more of the owners on and registered into the EnergyLink platform. So kind of a nice win there. You know, we're all looking, certainly in the current market environment, to watch our expenses. This offers yet another way to be able to move people to an online view only without having the paper statement follow-up. So what does the platform offer today in terms of feature parity, right, between the owner relations platform and where we're going forward? All of the familiar functionality that you all experience today is available within EnergyLink. We've actually done over the last quarter or so a couple enhancements to EnergyLink to add new functionality. So if you weren't aware of all these capabilities before, it's because they're brand new. And again, one of the benefits of that streamlined architecture, it's very easy to make enhancements and push things out. So with this, that's everything from revenue statements, JIB statements are available today. We're going through some revisions on that you'll hear more about throughout the summer to refine the look and feel, the content of the revenue statement in particular. Direct integration with our print mail workflows. Again, one of the very nice elements within the EnergyLink platform is the ease with which we've been able to integrate it directly into our mailhouse platform, so that your revenue statements, your JIB statements, all of that information flows seamlessly, so no much less human interaction, and it makes it quicker and less areas for hiccups to occur on a monthly basis. So that's a huge benefit. The tax forms, many of you utilize the platform to host your 1099s and other state tax forms. Those are also available within EnergyLink, and with an added benefit that there's also a nice roll up for owners to be able to go back to the individual monthly records very easily to do reconciliation and kind of walk through and understand, make sure everything is as expected before they file their taxes. ACH and COA, two new enhancements that just came out within the platform. So we have refined our methodology for handling ACH enrollment and the delivery of that information back to you at the operator level. Same with change of address. So those are by far the two most common additional forms or modules in the legacy parlance from a feature function standpoint that are available within EnergyLink today as well. And then the final piece really is also key here, both from a support standpoint at the operator level, but also from an owner standpoint. The call center, Enverus call center, for those of you that utilize our call center agents to support your frontline communication with owners, they already have been trained, have access to EnergyLink as well. So able to very quickly answer those calls. Our typical resolution rate is greater than 80% resolution on the first contact. That's facilitated to the fact that the agents are very knowledgeable within the products and even have access with permission to your back-end systems to answer those questions. So all of those pieces, again, all the common elements that we deal with within the hosting world, within the support world, all of that's available on EnergyLink today. So that's really kind of a nice fit. And then again, as we go through and interact with you on the rollout and the migration activities, you'll see how that marries up. You'll see the new functionality for the ACH form as an example, and hopefully get a smile on your face as we go through that. So what can you expect next, right? So we're kind of announcing this formally. We've been having some conversations with select operators the first half of the year here about migrations. We've got a couple of these under our belt. Everything has gone very smooth. So what can you expect in the coming months? Really, the first thing here from a migration plan, I just want to stress, don't change anything you're doing today. So we're having this conversation really just to let you know, here's where Enverus is taking owner relations, consolidating all the platforms under the EnergyLink umbrella. But for now, don't make a change. If you're sending files both to perhaps EnergyLink today on the exchange side, and you're sending files over to the ORMS side of the house as well, keep doing that. Don't make any changes, because right now everything is kind of tuned to have those two different files coming in. We'll contact you to begin discussions on what's next. Don't make a change. I just want to stress that over and again. communicate with us as well, right? So as we're going through this, now that you're aware of this, we've had a number of conversations with operators considering a back-end ERP change, an accounting system change. If that's something that you have on the horizon, start talking to us. Let us know, because we can certainly factor that in as we go through the migration schedule itself. And for those that have a change like that coming up, we'd like to work with you to make sure that you're only having to make a change once, right? So if you're making a change on the accounting system, it's a very easy flow to get that data into the EnergyLink platform, much quicker, much faster than we've been able to do historically on the legacy products. So if that's on the horizon for you, again, reach out, let us know. If you have any other changes you're looking to consider, either changes to statement, maybe you want to add print mail services, you're going to look to maybe a change on the call center as well. Again, those are all good touch points. Let us know what your plans are, let us know what your questions are, and we'd be happy to kind of walk you through that. From a migration kind of workflow, I mentioned we've given quite a bit of thought to how this will work. Several of these, again, we've kind of got under our belt before we made the broader announcement here. But essentially, we've kind of come up with really 3 different groups of individuals, and this was kind of taking a look and analysis of current functionality, current usage patterns by owners, and really kind of put together, again, a flow chart, a plan to work from easiest, if you will, kind of low-hanging fruit, the basics, revenue, JIB, tax statements being hosted, working that through to the ACH COA, print mail services, and then finally the large operator, more kind of configured components we would put towards the end. These are not definitive though. So as I mentioned, if you have a migration coming up on a back-end system as an example, start talking to us now. This isn't a linear process necessarily. But as you can kind of see, the migrations have begun. They are underway. We've got a number of conversations in progress right now. That'll continue certainly through 2020 and through 2021. So while we want to bring all of the solutions together as quickly as we can, we also realize the reality of that we're working with you all, 150 plus of you out there. And we want to make sure that we're very methodical here and that this is very controlled so that, again, minimal disruptions for both you at the operator level, but also, again, for the owners themselves, so we don't kind of throw a wrench into the works and create any headaches at a time when certainly no one's looking for those. So this is a rough timeline here, not prescriptive. So once we have the conversation with you, we'll plan out what a migration looks like. Again, it's not going to be the phone ringing on the first and then telling you, hey, look, we need to move everybody over in 30 days. There will be a full plan in place with your buy-in on when we move. And then, again, from there, we'll put together a full project plan and manage that with you. So a lot of more information on that coming in the coming months. And again, if you have questions, you can certainly ask us. And again, key there is if you have upgrades coming up on the back end, the accounting side of things, reach out. So some of the other changes that we're looking to do, in addition to just kind of announcing this plan, this migration, the unification strategy that we have, is also bring up the owner relations advisory group. So I joined the company Enverus, or joined Info, last summer, just prior to the acquisition with EnergyLink. One of the key things that I'd like to do from a product standpoint is get together with our clients to understand what their needs are a little bit better, kind of have a roundtable discussion as well on what it is we're doing, what you'd like to see us do, validate what we have ideas over, but basically have a conversation. So one of the things that I wanted to use this opportunity here this afternoon to speak with you all is put in your mind the notion of an advisory group panel. This would be kind of a small group discussions, but basically looking again for feedback, right? So again, everything from enhancements we're working on to problems, pain points that you're having in your daily business to understand how we can better serve you and kind of tie some of the pieces together. This is a separate group from our separate event, I should say, from our annual user group meeting. So this will be kind of in conjunction with that. And the idea here is kind of creating a small group of folks. It'll have rotating participation, right? So it's not a handful of people driving for the next couple of years. But rather we'd want to get, kind of a really good participation and a really good mix in terms of the operator size and complexity as well, so that we're mindful of all of our clients that we interact with. This is something, again, that I'll be putting together a little bit later this summer, more information to come. But if this is something that you're interested in, would love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to me direct, and or if you can work through your account manager as well for more information there. So with this, again, kind of a nice short, sweet presentation. The goal here is really just to make sure everybody is aware of what's going on. I want to make sure we don't have any kind of rumors or any, fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market, but rather we're very clear in the direction we're going. Also very clear that don't make any changes today. Again, we'll follow up with you, and that again you will have play a large role in determining exactly the sequence of when we move from the legacy to the new platform under EnergyLink. And with that, I'm gonna actually open up here and see if there's any questions.
Yeah, we do have a few questions. The first one is, how will those of us using the oil decks for revenue and tax that have an owner relations tab on our website be affected as far as access through our sites for our owners once we migrate? Does that tab go away?
So we'd have a couple different options there, and of course we'll again, each case might be a little bit different, but we do have the ability to kind of have, I'm assuming what you're referring to here is the tab off the operator site to link to the statement data directly and or tax information. We can certainly work with you to put a link into the EnergyLink platform there as well. Small snippet of code, very easy to deploy, very fast. So that capability, if I'm understanding the question correctly, would remain.
Next question is, will this presentation be sent via email today? So to answer that, we will be sending a recording of the session, and it will be sent out tomorrow. We have to do a little bit of editing first, but we will send out a link to the replay tomorrow. So keep an eye on your email inbox for that. The next question, I currently send revenue files to both EnergyLink and the owner relations site. Should I continue to send both? Yes.
So hopefully that is, if nothing else, you leave with two things today. One is the new direction of unification under the EnergyLink platform, but two, don't do anything, don't change anything. So yeah, if you're sending those files to two different locations today, keep on doing that. And again, we'll let you know when it's time to stop.
Okay, next question. How will royalty and working interest owners be notified of the platform change?
So that's a great question. And again, this is something more as we engage with you on the migration itself that we'll kind of lay out. But this would be plenty of advance notice between the time we make the decision to move from one platform to EnergyLink. The idea here would be a number of different spots for notifications, both on the legacy. So let's just say if you were to making a transition on, we'll just say July 1st, at the end of the June revenue run or in the lead up to that July date, we'd begin to message both through the legacy platforms. From a print mail standpoint, we can include notices there as well. And then email confirmation to all of the owners that we have email information for as well. So we'll be trying to make sure everybody is aware in the lead up to the migration. Once the migration occurs, the legacy site will remain there for historical purposes for a duration. And again, anybody coming in, if they skipped a month and came in, say in August as an example, with my example here, they would see the message, hey, go pick up, here's a link to go create your account within EnergyLink, link straight over, be able to get an express, kind of access to the site and make it, again, very seamless to the extent we can for the owners.
Excellent. This is a good question. We are planning to change accounting systems in 2020. How will this migration plan impact us?
Yeah, so that's a key one, right? So, and we've had a couple of conversations already. One of the really great, everything's great about EnergyLink. I'm really excited to get over there. But one of the really nice pieces here is the fact that they have the ability to take and already integrate with a lot of the accounting systems that are common in use. So with that, it makes it very easy to accept a new format to have the revenue submitted in. So again, that's something that we can work through with you. If you're going to make a change here, we've got a number of folks at the end of 2020. So in January 2021, they're looking to flip the switch, move to a new accounting system. We're working in coordination with them to make sure that we're ready for them as well. So let us know on that. We can certainly save hopefully a lot of time, effort, frustration potentially by moving in parallel with the back-end change, having the EnergyLink platform kind of come along with that. And that way, from an owner standpoint, they're experiencing one change from you versus having to make the change first in the legacy product and then make it eventually on the EnergyLink side as well.
Okay, next question. Will those of us using OilDeck have to make changes to the files we are currently sending?
So again, each case is different, but as we engage with you, we'll have kind of a conversation with that. The nice thing, again, with EnergyLink is the ability to be very flexible on the files coming across. So often we can either make it easy and have a file extract directly from the accounting system in an EnergyLink format, or again, we can work with you on the existing file format to see which path has less friction to it.
Okay, next question.
Good question.
I'm interested. I know, lots of good questions. I'm interested in moving to EnergyLink. Who can I talk with?
So with that, if you have an interest, again, whether it's kind of precipitated by the fact that you're maybe changing an accounting system, or if you're just simply excited, again, many of your owners are already accessing a lot of the revenue data, certainly the GIB data on EnergyLink. So there's already kind of a nice affinity for the platform. If you're interested, you want more information, you can feel free to reach out to your account manager. Otherwise, what we'll be doing again is we have kind of our punch list of folks that we're going to talk to. We are working through that list. You will be contacted shortly, but if you want to raise your hand and maybe have a discussion, we're always happy to facilitate that.
Excellent. Next question. How will this change impact our printed revenue checks and statements processed by Enverus?
Yeah, another good question. So again, many of you use the Enverus services, print mail services, to handle your check and revenue statement and or GIB statements that we send out monthly. That should be seamless, right? So as we go through this with the planning I mentioned earlier, we've already got direct integration on the EnergyLink platform, right, to be able to pull the statement data directly out of the platform and into the print mail queue. Really, there should be a pretty seamless flow there. We've got a couple of these under our belts, as I mentioned, and certainly picking up more steam as we go. But that's a pretty seamless process. You really don't have to do much for that. Any effort would be explained during the migration period, but again, it should be pretty seamless.
Excellent. Okay. Next question. We use the ACH and COA modules on the ORMS platform. Are these available on EnergyLink?
They are. Again, those are two recent enhancements on EnergyLink. So they're not only available, but they've kind of been reimagined and updated a little bit in terms of the content and the presentation. Both forms are available, as well as the familiar integration options to get the data back. As the owners are filling out the forms, have that information come back to the operator for update into your back-end systems. That all the plumbing is available, and the feature functionality is released as well. So no loss of capability there.
Okay, this is another good question. How will this change impact our use of the call center service and the agent?
Yes. So call center agents, as I mentioned, that's a service that many of our clients are already taking advantage of. If you aren't taking advantage of it, I'll put my sales hat on for just a moment and encourage you to maybe take a look. So we have a fully hosted call center with a little more than 50 agents around the country, answering phone, email support questions on behalf of the operator, right? So it's not an Enverus service, it's actually kind of a white label for you all. That team has been trained on the EnergyLink platform. They have access to it today. So any and all support questions, they would be able to answer both from a legacy perspective. So from an ORM standpoint, post-migration, be able to kind of look back, answer any questions that owners may have, but certainly on a go-forward basis, have access to EnergyLink and be able to be very responsive to owner inquiries that come in.
All right. Don't see any other questions in the questions panel. Oh, we got one popped up right in time. Okay. Will we be able to change our user IDs on the ORC and ORM site after the move? I was told ORC sites, i.e. Seneco, it will always be owner number and can't be changed.
So this is a good question. I'll need to get back to you actually, because that's actually a question I hadn't considered on that. So we can certainly reach out. I think we have the name of the person that asked the question. So we'll definitely get back to you.
Absolutely.
I want to make sure you get a proper answer.
Okay, excellent.
Boy, it's a good question.
Any other questions, guys?
Very interactive.
Yeah, everybody's excited about it. Good stuff. Any other questions, guys? Any more? So Steve, maybe if anybody else is typing in a question, you can just kind of reiterate kind of moving forward what the communication plan will be. Again, kind of after going through all this information, we've given them a lot of information to think about. So you guys will be in touch?
Yeah, sure. We'll be in touch. We'll have, again, this presentation will come out. We'll be in touch with you individually. And then as the summer progresses and some new features and functions get released, we have a pretty exciting roadmap of events now through the end of the summer. The communications will just become a little bit more regular. It's also easier to speak to now that this is all public and we've got the announcement out there. So we'll be in touch, both individually as it pertains to your specific migrations, but also just again from a market standpoint, be in communication on new capabilities as we release them.
Excellent. Well, I don't see any other questions coming in, so it sounds like everybody is good to go for the session. So just to reiterate, everybody, you will receive a recording of this session in your email inbox, so keep an eye out for that. We will send it out tomorrow. And until next time, thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope that you guys stay safe and well out there, and we hope to chat with you again soon. Thanks for joining.
I appreciate it. Thank you.